Boerne, Texas is a thriving suburb of San Antonio, and it is growing so fast. This video is going to give you a sneak peek of a brand new community before it's even available to the open public. Steve and I are going to give you a great view of what's coming in this neighborhood. And of course, once it's complete and ready to view, we will do a tour there and you'll be able to see those model homes and the lots. Let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to our channel and you would like to know everything there is to know about living in San Antonio and its surrounding areas, make sure you subscribe or tap the bell for notifications to ensure that you're one of the first to be notified when we bring you new market updates. My name is Katie Powers, and my husband Steven Garza and I get phone calls and emails from people just like you every single day who are looking to make a move into the area. Whether you're 6 days or 6 months away from making that transition, we would absolutely love to hear from you. All of our information is listed right below, and Steve and I would be honored to be your realtors of choice. Now let's dive into this brand new community. It's absolutely amazing, half-acre lots in Boerne, Texas. Now I'm gonna go through quite a few things to give you a little more information on this neighborhood. Of course, a lot of it we don't have information on yet because it's not quite open to the public, but I'm gonna show you on a map where this property or this community is located in Boerne. I'm gonna go over Boerne as a whole in terms of the school districts and all the benefits that Boerne gives you. And then we're gonna dive into the 2 builders who are currently building their models. Will be open by February, March. So we'll bring you an update when that happens. This is just to give you a sneak peek of what's to come, because if you're looking for a half-acre in Boerne, they're hard to find, and these 2 builders are absolutely phenomenal. So you'll want to have, if you're doing a little research before you move, this might be ready right when you're ready to move. So let's dive into it right now. So as always, I like to show you where these suburbs are on the map in relation to San Antonio. San Antonio is a large city. It is growing really quickly, but there are also a lot of suburbs in the area that are growing as well. Today, we're gonna be in Boerne, Texas, which is north of San Antonio off of I-10. So I-10 comes straight into San Antonio. You have an outer loop of loop 1604, and then you have an inner loop of 410 in San Antonio. Then you have your other major freeways, of course. I-10 comes in and then shoots out towards Houston. You have I-35 that goes north to Austin. And then you have I-90, which goes out west. And then, of course, 281, that goes up. You can always get to Boerne from 281 too, but I-10 is going to be your main road. And then if you are looking in the Boerne area, you are going to be very familiar with 46, which cuts right through downtown Boerne. So now that you know where Boerne is in relation to San Antonio, let's go ahead and zoom in where this new neighborhood is going to be. Actually going to be south of Boerne, and it's off of Boerne Stage Road. So off I-10, you'll take Boerne Stage Road over here, and you keep going out, and it's gonna be in this location, just past River Rock Ranch. Say that 5 times fast. That's a hard neighborhood to say over and over, so many R's. But the neighborhood is gonna be located right here, so let's do a little more zoomed in. Now it's not on a map yet because the roads just went in. Again, this is a very, very sneak peek preview to the neighborhood. It is off Boerne Stage Road, right close to the intersection of Scenic Loop and Boerne Stage Road. Now this really teeters on the county lines and city lines of San Antonio versus Boerne. This neighborhood is technically located in Boerne. It's going to be in this area here. And honestly, it's hard to tell because the roads aren't in here, but I think it's going to be here. It could very well be here too. But it is right off Boerne Stage Road and scenic loop. Now, as I zoom back out, I want to show you what's around. Now, this is a very rural area. You have lots of trees. You are the hill country in this area, but it's actually pretty close access to everything else. Now, the only thing that would be a little further of a drive for you would be the Boerne schools. Now, the good thing is here in Texas, if you are going to the schools that your home is routed for, in this case would be Boerne ISD, you will have buses that will take them, but you can also drive them. But you know, if the neighborhood is over in this area, all of the schools are a little more north in Boerne off I-10. So it is going to be a bit of a drive to get to those schools, but they are some of the very top rated schools in Texas, which I will show you that here shortly. Now, the other things that I want to hit on is just how close it is to things. So right here up Boerne Stage Road, you can come in this way, you hit right at Leon Springs. So you do have a lot of restaurants here. I wouldn't say a lot. You have a few restaurants in this area, like a Willie's, a Papa Nacho's, a Starbucks, of course. You do have a grocery store and an Italian restaurant. So you have some restaurants, you have your coffee, you have some fast food in the area. They just put a Chick-fil-A up a little north of it, like over here, which that's kind of a big deal. Like, I know I've said this in another video, but like when you get a Chick-fil-A, you're like big time. At least that's how I feel. But you have Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Taco Cabana, all of those fast foods right there. But the big thing is you have a really nice grocery store just minutes down the road. Now, as I zoom out a little bit more, it'll give you a better picture of where the neighborhood is. So the neighborhood is going to be right here. You are 15, you can really take the scenic loop up into Boerne if you wanted to, or I-10, but you're about 15 to 20 minutes into downtown Boerne, and you're about 15 to 20 minutes into the rim or the intersection of 1604 and I-10. Now, in that intersection, you have a ton of things, like all the shopping your heart's desires there at La Cantera. You have all the food and restaurants that you could possibly think of between the rim and La Cantera. You have Fiesta Texas there. You have Top Golf. You just have a lot of activities and things to do, a lot of entertainment in that area. And you're 15 to 20 minutes from it. So nothing is really 5 to 10 minutes from this location. It is a little more rural. So I want to make sure that you are understanding that it is a little more rural. It is not like the verandas at the rim. So if you want something that's 5 minutes from everything, the verandas at the rim, you'll definitely want to check that video out. This neighborhood is also half-acre lots. It will be on septic tanks. That's another thing you need to know. That's very common in the hill country to have septic tanks, but it will be city water. So you're not going to have to deal with a well, just a septic. But I will just say septics have come a long way in the last 20 years. So it's very common to have that here in the hill country. So as far as location goes, it's wonderful. You're 15 to 20 minutes from everything. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Boerne is here. The property or the new neighborhood's right around here. So you are, like I said, 15 to 20 minutes this way, 15 to 20 minutes this way. La Cantera is here. The Rim is here. Medical Center is here. USAA is here. You have a ton of businesses, work. Lots of people live in the Boerne area and commute down into San Antonio for work. So you really have everything just at your fingertips, just a bit of a drive. The only thing is the schools are going to be in Boerne. So it is a 15 to 20 minute drive to the schools. So you just want to keep that in mind for commute for your children. I'm always concerned about it. I have a teenager that drives to high school, and 20 minutes to high school. My son drives about 15 minutes, and it does concern me at some level. So enough about that, but let's dive into school districts and a little bit more about Boerne. This website is niche.com. I know you are watching this because you are researching the area. I would highly recommend using niche.com or greatschools.org to dive a little deeper into knowing about school districts and things like that. Boerne is rated one of the top 10 suburbs for raising a family in the San Antonio area. That's huge. It really is in my book. I know it says number 10, but honestly, Boerne's probably the number 1 suburb that families are going to. Number 2 would be like Cibolo, Schertz area. Most of that's more military. And then I would rank it Helotes, but they didn't ask my opinion. Niche.com says number 10. Boerne's a great area. It's a very spread out. The city, the downtown area is very small town feel, but the city limits of Boerne is very spread out. It's very large. So overall, they grade this public schools in Boerne at an A+. They are some of the top schools in Texas. So definitely want to check those out. This neighborhood is routed to Champions High School, and we'll go over exactly where it's routed to, but it is a small town, 18,000 population. Again, that's spread out. There's lots of acreage properties in Boerne, so I think that number is growing quite quickly. But this is kind of how you can see the Boerne lines, and this neighborhood is going to be further down here. But this is a great resource to look at. Schools are super great. You have all of the ratings here. And then of course they give you some other areas to look into if this isn't it, but absolutely phenomenal schools in Boerne. So let's dive into the builders. You're gonna have 2 builders that are building in this community. Keep in mind, they are half-acre lots. The size, they have not released their floor plans quite yet. I think we'll be getting those here in the next month. But the square footage, because it's half-acre lots, they are gonna be larger homes. Anywhere from 2,700 to 5,000 square feet is pretty much where the range is gonna be. Pricing is gonna depend on which builder you go with. So builders are Chesmar, which is a Texas-based builder, started in 2005. Great builder, great reputation here in Texas for sure. Builder number 2, Toll Brothers. If you haven't seen some of our Toll Brother videos, you need to watch them. They have some of the best floor plans, in my opinion, and I get lots of phone calls from people like you guys who are interested in building a Toll Brothers home because they are one of the largest national luxury builders, and their reputation is wonderful. So let's dive into those builder websites so you can see what's coming. So you have Chesmar. Again, this neighborhood's name is going to be Caliza Reserve. I think I'm saying that right. Again, this is so new and coming soon that there's not a lot of information on it other than their half-acre lots. And they are in the city of Boerne in Bexar County. So you won't get to see any of these plans quite yet. Like, as you can see, they don't have any of the floor plans yet. But the model is currently being built, and I will tell you, this model looks massive. So usually when they build models, they put all the bells and whistles, do one of their most popular floor plans. It's probably going to be 3,800 to 4,000 square feet. That's how big the model looked. But these are half-acre lots. They're beautiful. Now, the other builder is going to be Toll Brothers in Caliza Reserve, and they are saying their price points are going to start in upper 8s, which leads me to assume that Chesmar is going to be closer to upper 7s. They are going to be competing against each other. Toll Brothers does a little higher finish outs, and they typically are a little pricier than your Chesmar. Both are beautiful homes. You can't go wrong with either builder. They both have wonderful reputations, but you're probably going to see anywhere from 700 to 1.5 in this neighborhood. That's going to be a pretty solid range for homes on these half-acre lots. And as you can see, you can totally check out the Toll Brothers website. They have a lot of great floor plans and things to look at. They have not released, again, the floor plan for this community, but as you can see, they have released which schools this neighborhood will be routed to. Kendall Elementary, Boerne South Middle, which is nice because it's a little closer to the community instead of having to go all the way into Boerne, and then Champions High School. Again, like I said 2,800, but 29, Toll Brothers is going to be building 2,900 square feet up to 5,300 square feet. I'm sure you can add in and make those larger if you want to. They are half-acre sites, and it is beautiful hill country surrounding it. So you really get to choose which lot. That's part of the good thing about getting in on a neighborhood. early on because you get the pick of the litter on all of the lots. Now, as you can see, Steve and I have driven it. There are a lot of lots. It's not going to be a massive neighborhood, but until the builders have released everything, we don't exactly know how many lots are in the neighborhood, but I would assume there's at least 50 to 100. Not going to be a big community. Usually half-acre home site communities don't have an amenity center because they're expecting you to drop in a pool or do whatever you want with your half-acre lot. But once we have more information, I will definitely bring it to you. There is not a gate at the property currently. Doesn't mean that it won't be a gated community, but there isn't one right now while they're developing it. So that is all that I have for you. I know it's a shorter video than we normally do. It's coming soon, so there's not a ton of information. And of course, as soon as those models are open, Steve and I will bring you an update on this community, and we will tour those beautiful models, and we'll have more information on floor plans and price points and all of that. I know we've just given you a range, but what I do want to let you know is when you are building, you can guarantee pretty much that you're going to spend about 10% of sales price in upgrades. So if you're purchasing a home and the model floor plan is stating that it's $850, just know you're probably going to put up to 10%, maybe a little more, just depends on your finish outs, in upgrades. So if you start at $850, you're not going to end at $850. I just want to make sure that you guys know that when building. Some of you are pros and you've built multiple homes, or you've gone custom. So building with these semi-custom builders is a little different. So we just want to make sure that we're setting your expectations on any of these new construction videos that we're bringing you. If we're telling you it starts at 300, 800, a million, you're not ending there. You will want to upgrade and add some finish outs to make the house yours and make it unique, which is why most people choose to build. So anyway, that is all I have for you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. And if you have any questions or want more information, drop us a comment, shoot us a text. This is all of our information's right below. This is Steve and I's personal cell phone numbers. So if you do want more information, let us know and we will personally reach out to you and update you as soon as we have more info on this neighborhood. It's not gonna last long, I will say that. So give us a call, email us, shoot us a text. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.